So, Regina, as we've been discussing, obviously women have been traditionally underrepresented in the energy space. But what do you see from your perspective to be the key challenges when it comes to hiring a gender neutral team in this sector?
I think one of the challenges might be that there are still obviously less women professionals in this sector overall, and this is probably driven partially by the social bias, in my view, that this sector is a male sector. Basically, you go there if you are a guy rather than a woman, and I think this with years generated the perception also, or maybe less attractive, less interest for women who maybe were thinking about this as a profession, but they just ended up not going for it. And you see that in the candidate space. So we don't necessarily have problems hiring women into the teams that are not in the business, let's say, like well, it's not a problem to find a finance professional who's a woman, or HR professional, any of the support functions really. But it is becoming a really big challenge when it comes to attraction into the teams with know-how in the industry, in the business. So I think it's across the board. It's probably sometimes becoming a bit easier when it comes to the new generation, which is more bold perhaps, and is ready to make that change, and is looking into this profession as more of a profession, and they don't care whether it's considered to be something for men or for women. And that is really nice and encouraging, because then you have a chance to break the bias also, maybe for people who want to reconsider their careers but they didn't dare to do so. Yeah, maybe I would stop there.
No, I mean, that is definitely just the key issue, really. It's always with the more technical positions, where people maybe, as Gökçe was saying before, come from that background, like even in education. That's why it can be a bit difficult, because there is just less of a population, I suppose, in that domain compared to, I guess, the more like finance, HR positions. In terms of South Pole specifically, what kind of efforts have you guys undertaken to promote gender equality at both, I guess, like leadership level and different levels of the career pipeline?
I think we started to work quite a lot on this last year. That's at least what I really noticed when I joined, and when I really started to see movements around it. Also, partially, by the way, thanks to our employees who were really vocal about it. They really wanted to see the difference, and for us as a company be a role model in that space. So the first thing, for example, last year we have created a D&I board of employees who were self-nominated, or they were nominated by others, and who started to promote the D&I agenda, having conversations with the CEO as well, who was part of this board. So really trying to make a difference and bring their voice into the table. When we think about some factual stuff related to how we changed during this year, we started to be more intentional when it was related to the hiring process, or even just to give an example of the board composition that we have. So the changes in the board composition, for example, in 2021, we had one woman in the board, and this year we have 4 women out of 6.
Oh, great. That's great ratios.
Change, I think, within a year. And and it is an intentional change.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that intentional? Because that is really impressive, really, because as we were saying, I guess it does start from that level, really, to make changes.
Yeah.
It's a company that was founded by like 7 men, nothing, you know, they were young students, 16 years out of university. So it takes time.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then if we think about the next level after the board, the executive team or the C-suite, it now consists of 3 women. And when we go down into the organization, we were trying to also compare ourselves with against the gender diversity index of 2020 results, which was about 17% for women in senior executive position. So we used to be 11%, and now in January 2022 we hit 25%. So that is
amazing.
Actually even above the benchmark, which is really great. And that also helped or that evolved with promotion cycle that we have in January usually. So it was a high number of women promoted, which was really nice.
Oh, that is nice.
What else? I think that maybe from L&D perspective, what we do, we launched a couple of programs which are like, to give an example, Women in Leadership. This is a group coaching, peer coaching program that is specifically for women, and we launched it for the first time this year for more junior women in roles that are not yet hitting the glass ceiling, but are about to be there potentially, and this was intended to accelerate their development, to discuss maybe what they want to discuss, their problems, the challenges that they face working with men, and how to be more confident, maybe, etc. And now we are launching the second cohort, which will be for senior women in the organization, same principle, but then obviously they would have other problems that they might want to discuss together in the confidential way as well.
Okay, great.
This kind of activity.
Yeah, sort of, I guess, like a kind of mentoring and like leadership program sort of thing. That sounds interesting.
Well, this is specifically coaching with a coach, so that they can speak about what is bothering them and find solutions, really.
Oh, nice.
Themselves or by learning through others, explorations. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, it sounds like you guys are really thinking about how to improve things, and you have improved things drastically. Like those figures were really great. Was there anything that you guys wanted to add, either of you, just about anything really about Southpaw or just your experiences?
I think definitely, like, it's a big company, and it's not over, right? Like I mean, these are good early initiatives, but I think I still would want to see more senior women in the company. At 25 is a great number for like an industry standard, but I would want to see it much higher, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And depending, and you know, it's still a ballpark, like it's still an average figure. We need to look. I'm sure, Regina, you've guys done it, but I want to like make sure that we look at like each almost like business unit and team, and like each structure has that element, because you might also have like some teams that are, you know, not as diverse in the end.
Yeah, I suppose.
Day to day, these are like overall figures, so we might want to like map those things a little bit more. I think deep dive and see how each team are doing. So
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because of course. We have traders, like it's a very complex.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm glad we got to organise this. I know it's